Does it say recording anywhere? Your screen.
Yeah, it says recording on my screen.
It does, good, because I can't see anywhere on mine where it's gone. So welcome everybody, Saturday the 16th of January 2021, and this is the TiLT Show and Tell Cabaret Part 2. Call it a cabaret because actually normally show and tell, it's everybody pile in to say what you think. We've already asked 4 people to do it, but if people want to share things afterwards, that's fine, or share things in the chat, that's absolutely fine. So here we are, I'm Helen Myers, I'm chair of the London branch. We've already introduced people before on this. Hiker Phil and Linguoscope help us a lot. Joe, would you like to tell us a little bit about what you've got to offer? But we haven't got any sound from Joe. I haven't anyway. Is it only me?
I can't hear you.
All
Sorry,
right.
I've got a few issues in relation to updating drivers on my computer, which means I'm getting an echo right now.
On your face.
But don't worry. It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, so let me just quickly get ready. Right. Okay. Yeah. So thank you ever so much, Helen, for that. This is a fantastic second part of the TiLT webinar Show and Tell Cabaret. Looking forward to hearing all about some interesting tools today. Let me just get the chat open. 2 seconds. Cool. Yeah. So thank you ever so much for the introduction, Helen. As you all know, I'm an independent languages consultant, currently making a living through webinars. So in the chat, I've just posted a Google Doc, which has many example sessions of things that I can do if you need any help at all with remote teaching ideas.
Okay.
Over to you, Helen.
And thanks for everything. Just I put up there that there is still this offer if anybody wants to come along and make themselves a little avatar, dress themselves up and find out about how you can create an island where you can take your children safely and make up little stories. It's delightful. I went last week and we got lots of people signed up. So if you're interested in that, let me know. If you're a member of ALL, please write that in the chat now. Say you're an ALL member. I know that we've done this already this morning, but there may be some new people with us this afternoon who need to be persuaded to join us. And these are the things which are coming up. We've got quite a lot coming up this week. Transmedia in Education on the 18th of January. That's Monday. We've got another, this is part 2 of the Microsoft Clinic, which is on the 20th of January. Really, these first 2 are doing the basics. And then future ones will be more sort of drop in and ask what you want, but this will be the basics. Then on Thursday, Joe, you're organising we're going to have a Google Clinic. So I think Samantha and Darren are doing that. Next Saturday, Karine Longman is going to be talking about iPad. So we're really covering this week, Microsoft, Google, Apple. And then going into the following week, we've got 27th of January, Richard Tellerant. Now that's, if you're primary in particular, I think you'll enjoy that, where he is talking about how you can introduce languages into your primary classroom. And the next first Friday is on Friday, all these Fs, Friday the 5th, first Friday on Friday the 5th of February. And that's going to be preceded by Nick helping people talk about how to apply for jobs. As usual, the webinars are all linked on our website. And this is what we've got lined up for today. So it's Natasha talking about Spiral, Jane Basnett on Carousel Learning, Rachel Grice making a debut here. We're very excited about this, Rachel, with Sabine. And as you're talking about the one that you mentioned, Kerry, look at, and then finally Esther, and we're going to do stay with us because we're going to have fun. We're going to try out our breakout rooms again. So we're looking forward to that. So I shall stop sharing my screen now and I'll hand over to Joe to take forward the proceedings.
Lovely. So I'm having a few issues with my drivers at the moment on my Windows 10 machine, but I think that's sorted out now. So that's brilliant. Okay, yeah. So we're going to start off with Natasha. Thank you so much to Natasha and all the speakers for agreeing to share some ideas which have been in the Twitter sphere recently. Of course, older ideas are fine as well, but the ideas that we're going to be hearing about in this show and tell are very much up-to-date ideas. But I just came in towards the end there and here were some other fantastic ideas as well being shared. So it's fantastic. We're all in this together. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Natasha if that's okay, who's going to be talking about Spiral, which has certainly been talked a lot about recently on Twitter. So over to you, Natasha, and thank you so much for doing this.
You're breaking up.
Right, I'm pausing.
Time.
I'm pausing the recording while we sort this because
Yeah,
I'm
on the same
yesterday.
computer as well. Maybe it will come and go.
No, I don't think you can hear us, Natasha. It's not.
Oh.
It's not working at the moment. So let's just see. No, you've frozen. Let's just give Natasha a minute just to see if she can.
I haven't managed to hardwire, unfortunately.
No, it's still not working, I'm afraid. So I know I've got.
Oh no!
I've got the video. You very kindly created a video in advance for us to be able to look at. So where is that gone?
Can you hear me, Helen? No?
Yes. Now what should we do? I think possibly it may be.
Okay, so nobody can hear me.
Yes.
What I'm going to try, I'm taking out the earphones. Is that any better? Or
Yes.
worse?
Yeah, that's fine now.
Is that better or worse?
It's fine. It's better. I think possibly it may be. Yes.
You can hear me now?
Yes. Can.
Yeah, okay, let's see how we get on. It's fine. Okay, perfect. Let's give it a go. I have done some YouTube videos. Apologies, everyone. Talia, you're in the background. I'm one of the few people that seem to be working on Chromebooks, and I do seem to have some issues with the technology. So apologies for that. 1 second. Talia. Sorry, my daughter was in the background there. Do apologise, everyone. Existence by Esmeralda Salgado on the Quickfire Lite. So do watch that, and there's a link to that in my presentation. Okay, I'm going to, Joe, I still can't share my screen, and Helen, it says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, I thought I had done that.
Otherwise, Helen, if the audio's working, are you happy to, have you got access to slides, Helen? Are you happy to share my slides from your screen and I'll talk over them?
If you like, I'd got the video ready, but it's that you'd like the slides. So I'll get the
Yes.
slides. Just a minute.
Or Joe, I don't mind, the Google Slides.
Yep. Right. If you just bear with me, I've got the video showing, which it's not the video. Right.
I don't know why, but it's not allowing me to share my screens. I apologise to everybody. Oh, hang on, it's letting me now. It's letting me. It's letting me. Okay, let's share. Okay, it's letting me show the spiral, so I'll start with that. So if you, because I want this session to be really interactive. So Helen, if you don't mind getting the slides ready in case I can't share them later. Yeah. And I'll start by what I wanted to get everyone involved in, which is having a go. So if you could all go to spiral.ac, and then you'll need to put in the class code that's on my screen. Can you see the class code? If not, I'll read it to you. It's CURPM, all in capital letters. So CURPM. And then you should, once you've done that, you should be able to see, it should say at the top, there is an activity going on in one of your classrooms. There we go. Marissa's in, Sarah's in, fantastic. Thank you everybody for joining in.
And by the way, everything's set up now, Natasha. If anything, I've got the slides, I've got your video.
Amazing. I think one day I'm going to have to do these webinars in school or something because it's not working brilliantly from home. But at least you can hear me and we're getting there. We find workarounds, don't we?
Yeah, at the moment it's perfect.
Oh, good. So previously it was better with earphones, so I started with that. It's typical, isn't it? Great. We got 32, 33 people involved today already. That's great. And then I'll bring up the slides later. Okay, right. Shall we maybe, I'll just give it another minute or so for people to join. And then I'll go back to my slides. It looks like everybody's managed to get in, which is fantastic. We've got Wow, look at this. We've got 60 people in already. So those of you that haven't played Spiral before, the quickfire light that Esmeralda's video is a fantastic introduction to is basically you can just use a verbal question, but the other features are very similar to this, but this on the quickfire, there's more sophisticated features. So I want to take you through some of those today and how you go about setting them up. I find Spiral to be really intuitive and super efficient, effective, and the data that you get back from it is fantastic, as those of you that have already used quickfire light will know. Okay, we're up to 80 now. There's still people joining, so I'll give it another minute and then I'll get started. Okay, let's get started. I think people can join once we've started anyway. Okay, so here we go. So I'm head of languages and I can teach a range of languages, but my main language at the moment is Spanish. So recently I did a lesson on soy and soy day. So this might be something that I do, for instance, an exam debrief if the children had made mistakes, such as soy de Italiano, which the Hispanists in the room will know is not correct. So I would like you all, if you speak Spanish, to have a go at correcting that sentence for me. There are 2 possible corrections. So could you all now have a go? So just like in a quickfire light, you can see that I can hide your name. So at the bottom of the screen or the second bottom along on the right, I can hide your names. So that's quite powerful. I can still see who has answered. I can still see how many people have answered. If you don't know for me today, just put a question mark. So what the beautiful thing is that you can hide the names. So once the answers are there, which I'll show you in a second, I can hide the names or as they are now, and then I'm not causing any of the children, the pupils, to feel embarrassed. Okay. So the point of that task there, the exam debrief, would be exactly, well done, this person, soy Italiano. Soy day is with a country, and soy day with the country and soy with nationality. Okay, so well done. And as you can see, if you've not played quickfire light, quickfire works in the same way. So everybody who's written soy Italiano, as you can see, it groups them in blue because those answers were exactly the same. And then it corrects them all, and you will have all got a nice star. The pupils love getting the stars. And then soy d'Italia is also, or those of you that have put soy Italiano starting your sentence with a capital letter, perfect, spot on. And soy d'Italia, so changing from the nationality to the country, that's spot on as well. Okay, so that gives you an idea, if you've never played quickfire before, of what's on offer. So the main features, you can hide the answers and the names and show them at the click of a button. I can also randomly choose one to talk about, and then I can close that. So I can say, well done, whoever put soy Italiano, you are right. So when we are talking about a nationality, we use soy as opposed to soy day. Well done. So that, as I say, I might use this as a debrief after an exam, something like that. Some other really good features before we move on to the next question about quickfire. You can't see it now because we're in the middle of, you've all answered, but you can, on quickfire, you can set a timer, which I really like, and you can lock and unlock the devices. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next question now. So again, I've pre-prepared all these in advance, which is something that quickfire, as opposed to quickfire light, is good for. So you can, and I can show you briefly at the end, or if I run out of time, I've pre-prepared a video. So for instance, you might choose to do your vocab tests in this way, and you could simply copy and paste your vocab tests and into quickfire, and it will, as long as you separate each vocab item with a question mark, I believe, or a new line, it will edit them all for you. So this one, I've gone on to French here, je suis en zone. Anybody who speaks French will know that that's a really common but a really important mistake. So could you all have a go at correcting that for me? As you can see, I haven't hidden the answers, so you can see people's answers. So again, you might give people a time frame. By here you can usually set a timer. I don't quite know why that's grayed out for me at the moment, but it doesn't matter. You can set a timer for the questions, 15, 30 seconds, etc., to keep the pace of the lesson. And if you are showing the answers and you don't want people to copy, you also have a button at the bottom here that usually allows you to lock the devices. I also want to talk very briefly about this button at the bottom. If I flicked on to student-led, sorry, it was on student-led, so you could go through at your own pace. That's why it wasn't letting me lock it. I do apologise. So this button here, you can take previously it was on student-led, so you could all go through on your own pace. Right now it's on teacher-led, which is how I usually play it, and that's when you have the set timer and the unlock. So for instance, the next question, actually I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay, review answers, and we'll go on to the next question. Right, so I'm now on teacher mode. And this time, before I let you answer, I'm going to give you a timer. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Actually, this is not. Right, here we go. So I wanted to cater for a variety of languages today. So I would like you, this is a different question type in Quickfire, which is multiple choice or poll. So I've set a timer there and there's 12 seconds to go. So you only have 12 seconds, 8, 9, 7, 6 to answer, otherwise your device will lock. So that's a really nice feature for keeping the pace of the lesson. Okay, so if I want to give you more time, I can click on go, etc. So let's look at the answers there. I am 11. So what we need there is an auxiliary verb. It's harbour. Sorry, I did make a version with options. I mean, that was a version of the quick, not to worry. Okay, so let's move on. Yeah, this is not my correct version. I had multiple, I prepared it. Oh, here we go. So this one is an Italian one. It is not the correct one. It hasn't got the correct answer. Never mind. The correct answer is vuole, not voi, but just choose one of those so you can see how it works. So this is a multiple choice. So I wanted to show you a range of questions that are available on Quickfire. Okay, so you all know how it works now. As I say, voglio is the wrong verb form because it should be io voglio, lei vuole. So there's a bit of a mistake there. I apologise for that. Moving on. So this one again, multiple choice. 11, does it mean 11, 7, 1? So what I pre-prepared here was a range of different question types. So you can see here there's polls, there's multiple choice, and they're all super easy to set up. Hopefully I'll be able to take you through the setup very briefly, and I've pre-recorded 2 videos as well. So here we go. So that was multiple choice. Right, here we go. This one, I don't know how we're going to get on with this, but this one is supposed to allow you all to draw. I'm not sure how this one's going to work because I haven't tried this in my classroom, but I wanted to give you all an introduction. I don't know if anyone's, I know it didn't work on my phone, but hopefully it will work on your devices. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So this one gives everybody access to characters. This one is called Canvas. So really nice, different way of doing whiteboard. Fantastic. Okay, well done everybody. Una casa, if you don't know, is a house. Right, this one I really like as well. So this one is an annotate in the Quickfire. So I thought this is something you could do with vocab, for instance, food. So this time what I've asked you all to do is to label the icons or the images connected to Spain. Label them, please. So this is something you could test their vocabulary with. So you've done some teaching on food in a particular language. You could give them the images and then they label them in that language. I thought this activity could possibly appeal well, to all learners really, because it could be bright and colourful, but also I wondered whether SEN students would find that particularly appealing, as it's word level, etc. Let's see if anybody's managed to do that. I can see a few people have. Here we go. So they etc. So there you go. There is also, I don't know how we're going to get on with the next one. So I wanted to really quickly whiz you all through the different question types available on Quickfire and the extra features such as the timer and the device lock feature. And it really is so easy to set up. So I hopefully will get a chance to show you that. If I run out of time, then I have pre-recorded how I did it and I could show you. You could watch the video. Last question, and a really nice feature is this. So ask your questions a verbal question. Hopefully this is the audio one. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but we'll have a go. So, ¿Dónde vives? Are you getting a message asking you to record an audio?
I've got pay attention to your teacher to hear the question on mine.
Okay.
You need to press go.
Okay, I'll try it. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Helen. Have you now got, is it asking you to record an audio now?
It tells me give your best answer below on mine.
Okay. Like I say, I think I opened up the wrong Quickfire, but it's not the end of the world. But basically, another thing you can do, you've seen quite a range of activity types. Another one you can do is an audio. So, ¿Dónde vives? Vivo en Inglaterra. There we go. Well done. Okay. So there is, so you can watch my video anyway, and you can set up an audio question as well. So those of us preparing students for GCSE or Common Entrance speaking exams, I thought that could be really powerful when they have to record their audios. So Helen, how am I doing for time, Helen or Joe? Have I got time to show people how quick and easy it is to set these up?
Yeah, I mean, we have, haven't we, Joe? Yes, I think I haven't heard.
Right. So if I promise to whiz through it in a few minutes, so as I'm not to take up too much of anybody's time, I'll finish that quick fire for now.
We had allowed for time for this, so yeah.
Okay, perfect. No, there's lots of other fantastic sessions to come as well. We'll keep it as quick as possible. So those of you that used quick fire before know that one of the most helpful things about it,
but now you are breaking up
and data that you get at the end.
So I wonder whether, since you've made an audio of this,
okay,
perhaps we just share that with everything, because you've put the effort into making the audio about how to do it. Should we do that? Because there is breaking up now again. Is that all right?
Okay. Absolutely. So yes, Helen, can you hear me, Helen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so yes, I'm happy with whatever you want to do, whether you want to move on, whether you want to show the video, if I'm breaking up, whatever works best.
Now you're absolutely fine. So I think if you're going through a PowerPoint which hasn't got, getting onto the internet, I think that's working. I think it's as soon as you get onto the internet that seems a problem. So, well, we're all on the internet, but if it's going through a PowerPoint, I think it's going to work.
Okay, let's have it. Let's give it a go.
Yeah, this is fine. Yeah.
Okay. Apologies to everyone for this. Right, so we've done the quickfire. So what I wanted to do at the beginning of the session, and it didn't, obviously technology let me down. What I wanted to do in this session, which I've hopefully started doing, is to introduce you all to the wider functionality of Spiral.ac. If you don't know me already, I'm Natasha Witham, and on Twitter, I'm MFL Witham. I thought in my Bitmoji today, I would do a picture of me juggling, because I think we're all juggling lots of balls at the moment, if you excuse the tone of phrase, with the pandemic, with monitoring screens on Go Guardian or whatever our schools are using to see what the pupils are up to. So as I said, I'm not going to play it now, but if you get a link from Helen to my slides, there's also a link to Esmeralda's video on Quickfire. Quickfire requires zero preparation. Students respond to a verbal question from the teacher, as you did in the last one. Answers that are exactly the same are grouped to facilitate quick and easy marking, as you saw. Responses are kept, so pupil responses are saved, summarized, etc. Oh, I didn't mean to play that. Okay, let's click on. So we've done a quick flyer now. And what I'm going to share with you in the slides is videos of how to, I've done 2 videos, one which is similar to what we've already done together today, and one which shows you how to go about creating them. Hello, everyone. Okay. And this last point on this slide is very, very important. If today joining in my session is the first time you've used Spiral, because this happened after I did a staff CPD, you may need to reset your account, because Spiral will automatically assume you're a student. People, as I say, it's staff colleagues of mine, struggled the first time because they joined in a session with me, they loved it, they wanted to go away and use it, but Spiral thought they were a student. So this is a really, really important point for you all. If you've never logged on before and today is your first time, you will need to, when you log in, you'll need to then go to contact us, subject, and reset your account. Excuse the typo there. And that will then allow you to reset completely. Okay.
That was great. Thank you ever so much for that. And I will definitely put all of the links up on the website. It's obviously something which, you know, any of us who saw that first, I've forgotten, Laura Kaiser, wasn't it? We all went away and did it, and it's good. And you've shown us, you know, how you can go beyond the quickfire. So really good. Round of applause, everybody.
Thank you. Apologies again for the technological issues, but hopefully that will save a bit of time. If you want to know more how to do it, it's very, very straightforward. Those activities I set up, you can set up in about 10-15 minutes. It's as quick as that. You can copy and paste. Just watch those videos. One of them shows you how to go about setting it up.
Yeah, and I've looked at the video. It's really, really clear. Thanks so much for doing that. Lovely. Okay, so I think it's now Jane, isn't it? I don't know, because I can't. Jane.
Yeah, it's me, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you said before anyway.
Yeah. So over to the wonderful Jane.
Okay, so
what did I call you? What did Julia call you? The queen of
the fairy godmother.
The fairy godmother.
Oh yeah.
Waves her wand and everything works.
Yeah. Oh God, that's not always the case. I always have.
Took us all to the Teams ball.
That's right. So for anybody here who has not heard of Jane, where have you been? Jane is, yes, fairy godmother of Microsoft Teams on Twitter. If you've got any question, normally within 2 minutes, she seems to answer. She's really, really, you are brilliant. So thank you so much for what you've done. And you're going to share with us something to do with Carousel.
Yeah, so Carousel.
We need some music to go with it, I think.
Yeah. Well, I haven't planned that. I'm sorry. I should have done. I hope you can all see my little comment there. Yeah, us MFL Twitterati, we rock, I think. It's been great seeing all the action, all the activity, and all the webinars and show and tells. Brilliant. I've learned so much. So
I've definitely made you co-host, haven't you? You're able to share things, are you? Yes.
I am sharing now. Can you see my screen?
No, not at the moment.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. My bad. Ah, it's because I didn't click share. Rookie error. Can you see it now?
We're about to.
There you go.
Yes, there we are. Oh, look.
So I just want to minimize that so I can't. There we go. That's better. Right. Okay. So yeah, you know, MFL Twitterati, we rock. So I thought I'd add that as I was doing my planning yesterday. I thought I need to make some comment about how good we all are. So I'm going to talk about carousel learning. It is basically based on the concept of retrieval roulette, which Julia talked about last week, I think. It was brilliant. And I learned so much. Was it Julia? I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah. And I learned so much from that. And I spent all of Sunday, you know, trying out all the things I learned. So thank you so much for everybody last week. So this is a retrieval roulette. It's an Excel-based tool, as was mentioned last week, created by Adam Boxer. And it's been refined now for carousel learning and uses spaced repetition algorithms to select questions that will help to embed knowledge. And so let's have a look. So when you set it up, I'm going to show you how to set it up, but I'm going to show you first of all the student view. When you go to set it up, you get this option here, revision mode. It gives a couple of options. You can either revise questions at the bottom there, where students can access the flashcards for the questions in the quiz, and you can set as many or as few questions as you wish, or you can revise topics, so students can access the flashcards for all the questions of a topic. And again, you could have 50, 100, however many questions that you want, or you could have a very few amount of questions. But the student can still revise the whole topic before then testing out. So in this example that I'm going to show you here, I'm going to show you what it's like to revise topics. So hopefully my link is going to work. Carousel learning, here we go. So it opens up, and so I'm going to enter as me. So I'll show you how to set up class lists as well. So I log in. I'm going to revise first. This is a community quiz. I got it from the community, and it's this person here has decided just to do vocabulary. So I would revise in the usual way that you would say on Quizlet. It's just flashcards. That's it. Okay, if I was rich, show the answer. So I'd have to go through all 100 of them. So that's quite a lot. Now, I think I've revised enough. I think I'm going to ace this quiz. I'm going to take the quiz. I get the option, do I want to revise more? No, I don't. I'm ready. So here I go. A church. Now, please forgive me if I make mistakes, but I'm making mistakes on purpose. An église, a shop. There's only 3. I've made it a very short quiz, so it doesn't take up too much time. And news. I think it's news habitant. There we are. I'm going to mark my quiz now. So it says here, I've based on this is the thing for me that I think is like the magic of it all. Students can reflect on what they've put. So if they consider something to be right, which is in fact wrong, I can then, as the teacher, address that misconception. So I am a student here, and I can see that's my answer here, an église, and the actual correct answer was une église, and I'm going to think, oh, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to say I'm correct. Oh, I got that right. Fantastic. And the last one, nous habitons. Oh, gosh, I got my ending wrong. So no, I was wrong. So that's it. I've taken my quiz. I'm going to submit it. Okay. I can see my results. I can revise again, and I can retake it. You can only retake once. I go back now. I'm going to be the teacher, and I'm going to have a look at this quiz. So it's the My Town quiz. I'm going to mark it. When you mark it, that's it. The quiz is closed. You can see here that only 3 out of my 6 students have taken the test, but for the purposes of this, I'm going to mark, and I don't mind that it's going to close the quiz. Why don't you start marking? Yes, begin marking. Oh, that's really weird. It's unable to lock the quiz. Return to dash. Maybe I didn't. That's really weird. Series of exit. Let me just try one more time. Normally, you would just say mark. Yes, begin marking. Okay, well, fine. It doesn't want me to. I'm going to go back to my. I'm going to go back to my presentation, and hopefully, I'll be able to show you what happens when I mark it in a minute. So then, I'm going to go to the student view option. So in this example, I've set it up so that the students can only revise the questions I want them to revise. Okay, so I'm going to enter again as me. There we are. I am going to revise. I've got 3 questions in there. When do we use the, and I'm just, these are my quizzes now. When do we use the imperfect tense? Okay, yeah, what's the only, okay, so you get the idea. Now I'm going to take the quiz and hope, I'm going to try and make this work now. How do you form the imperfect tense? Okay, so take off the ending and add AIS, AIT, or you get the idea. And when do we use it? Whenever we want. Next, I'm just being quick with my, what's the only irregular? Oh, I think it's extra, and I'm not going to rush to sort out. It is easy. You can easily put accents in, but please forgive me. I'm just going to move on. I'm going to mark it, and I'm really going to hope, so here we go. My answer, I think for me, the power of Carousel is, in asking these longer kind of questions, because I might not write exactly as the answer suggests, but it still gives me a chance to reflect on my learning. Take off the verb ending and add AIS. I can see here that the teacher says take the new form, so I know I'm wrong. I'm going to just say, for the purposes of this, yeah, I'm right, and yeah, I'm correct. And I'm really going to hope now that it allows me to check. I want to show you what it looks like from my point of view. That was the grammar rules quiz, so please let me see. And I did this morning, and it let me do it all. Yes, begin marking. It won't let me. The quiz will be locked, and your students. That's fine. Begin marking. Right. Okay. Fine. Hopefully, I'll be able to show you in another one. Okay. I'll go back to my quiz. So minimize that. So the last option that you have is testing out. So that is the situation where you have no chance to revise, which seems a bit harsh, but maybe you've set it previously and they've done a lot of work on it, and now you really want to learn and see if they have learned anything from the whole process. So I'm going to just take my quiz, and I put different types of questions in here. So join these phrases. Les réseaux sociaux sont utiles. So les réseaux, I'm just going to go short form, sociaux sont utiles. Mais, I'll just go with mais. Ils sont. And so you get the idea. And in fact, I'm going to just come out of this now. Ah, I know why I couldn't. Okay, yeah, fine. It's all good. I know why it wouldn't let me look at the answers. So the great thing about carousel learning is you can't cheat by having two screens open, which is why I'm not able to look at these answers. I actually need to log in again. So students can't have, for example, they can't log in twice and be able to see all of the list of questions so that they could cheat. So I think that's a very good feature. So I'm going to refresh my page, log in again, and then I should be able to check my answers. Oh, no, check my answers. So here we go. I have to sign in. Unfortunately, it's not very good at retaining my email for some reason, no matter how many times I say, please remember my password and me. Okay, so now I'm going to log in and I'm going to check the answers. So my town, I can see 4 people have done the test. I'm now going to mark it. There we go. I'm allowed in. So I forgot about that. So I can see that 4 people have taken the test. And actually what I'm going to do, show only manually marked answers. So there's one here. So Hannah Basnet, I trawled through the family names. Hannah Basnet has said here that a shop is une magazine. Well, clearly that is incorrect. And it's a misconception. And I can then discuss with her that actually it's really important that you spell correctly and that you get your genders right. And you can see that with longer type of questions, you can really have some good discussions. Okay, so that is the view there. Let's just have all of the answers. If I go back to the dashboard, I can analyze the results as well. Analyze. If I mark them, oh, did I do the wrong one? Take me back. I analyze the technology or the grammar rules one. Analyze this. So I can see at a glance the overall results there. Okay, so that's carousel student view. And if I quickly now just talk about the kind of questions which I've already alluded to, you could have. I think that the good thing about carousel, because students can reflect on their answers and then teachers can also look to see how students have reflected on that. You can go for longer answers that allow for slight variations. So I've got some grammar ones there. I've asked some questions about how grammar works. I've uploaded questions where you have just some more open kind of questions, you know, listing at least 5 verbs that you would use a lot with the topic of environment. Simple. and then some translation. There's a lot of translation ones. There's a massive community of questions already put in there. Also, I thought it might be a really good idea to focus on the 90-word essay. So what are the things we're looking for in a 90-word essay? You know, I want those answers in English. These are the things we talk about already. If you have some acronyms that you follow, you could ask them to explain what those are, for example. You could have bullet points, the 90-word, here's the first bullet point, here's my sample answer. That's the teacher's sample answer. Students can put their answer in and can think, oh yeah, look, you know, I could have had a past tense in there and I didn't think about my structures. Those are the kind of things. I can then, of course, go back in and check. And my final, yeah, another bullet point. So that's it for the teacher view and the student view. I'm going to show you very quickly now how to set up Carousel Learn. So I'm at the end. There are two things that we need to do. So I need to come out of there, go back to Carousel Learn. Okay, go back to my dashboard. So before I show you how to set up, I'll just show you the community. There are a bank of questions. So I just start typing French. You can see here where I put quite a few in. Other people have. I think we could do with some more French ones, and there are lots of vocab ones, but I really favor the longer type of answers because I think that's a very powerful thing. Spanish, I think you'll find that Esmeralda, you know, the whirlwind that she is, will have put some things in here. She had, yeah, there we go. She's got some questions in there on different topic areas, which is fantastic. Now, setting up your carousel. Firstly, I'll show you, I've got a class down here. Will it let me in? I can't. How do I move the, I don't know that I can move the bar. Let me have a look at that one. You can quickly edit and add names individually. I'm unable to scroll right to the bottom of that. So I'm going to create new and show you what to do. It's really easy. You click on create new and they've got a little information bar here with a helpful article telling you what to do. It wants me to have a spreadsheet with 2 columns on the worksheet, and it should look like this. Here's my class. Now, people ask about GDPR compliant. For this, you only need to add a first name and a last name, and obviously that is a GDPR issue, so you can add first name and you could add an initial. I've just put initials there. That's it, done. So that's my class spreadsheet ready, and the first row has first name, last name. Go back to carousel. Okay, I enter the title. I'm going to call it sample TiLT class. I'm going to select the subject. This is French. And I'm going to browse my files. It's going to give me, hopefully, my TiLT folder. TiLT class, and I am going to, if I can find it, there we go, open. And now there it is, there's my class, upload. I've got 6 students, that's it, I don't need to view it, I know who's in it. And you will see now that my class is there, sample TiLT class. The next thing I need to do is to create a new question bank. So I click on create new. It's a new quiz. I enter a title. TiLT questions. The deadline I can set whenever. So over the holidays I set for my class, I gave them the opportunity to do it for the whole of the holiday, right up until when mocks would have been finished if we had done them. French GCSE verbs by topic. That's the verb roulette, the verb spreadsheet that we did recently. Question bank. So I can choose within the French GCSE verbs by topic, there's sections. There's verbs about education, there are verbs about environment, verbs about free time, but I want to select them all for this quiz because I want to revise them all, or I can just select a couple. So, you know, maybe I'll just select education and environment because I want them to spend time revising those 2 topics. And hang on a minute. I think I'm doing the wrong thing. I realize now I am doing the wrong thing. Let me go back to the dashboard. I want to create a new, I apologize. I want to upload my questions. I clicked the wrong one. Create new. Again, you get your useful and helpful article about how to create a question bank. It's again a spreadsheet. You need to have 4 columns: title, number, question, answer, topic. It looks like this. You see here, number, question, answer, topic. I've got 46 questions. This one is for year 9 and it's all about healthy eating. Go back to my carousel. I'm going to upload a file. So let's browse my files. There's my questions. I enter a title. I'm going to call it year 9. Whoops, year 9. Select a subject, which is French. The key stage is 3. Now, if you want to, you can keep it private and it's just for you. But if you want it to be global, i.e. that the community can use your questions, then you have to either select the curriculum provider, or what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to say AQA because that's what we work towards. And I want this to be global because why shouldn't everybody have the opportunity? And I click upload. Now, the thing is, the only thing about these questions is I haven't figured out a way yet how to edit them. So I've even seen, it's okay when I've seen mistakes on my own ones because I can upload new questions. So here we go. All my questions are in. Back to the dashboard. The final thing then is to set a quiz, which is what I started to do before. So I click on create new. I'm going to enter comment vivre sainement, which is what I've been working on. I want the deadline to be in a couple of weeks' time. I'm going to select my question bank, which is my year 9 one. Select one. I think I want them actually to do all topics. So select all. And I'm going to give them a quiz of 10 questions. And I get actually, for the purposes of this, I'm going to select just 3. You select the questions you want to give. I have selected revision mode because I want them to be able to revise. I'm going to select my 3 questions. So these are all translations. And I think I'm going for that one. And then I get to save it, which I would do, but it's hidden underneath the Zoom bar. And I don't know how to move this. Oh, there, you move the Zoom bar there. Confirm selection. And then I get the opportunity to assign it. I'm going to assign it to my sample TiLT class, create quiz. That is it. That's the whole process. And that's it. I'm done, unless there are any questions. If I went too fast, I don't know.
I think that was fantastic. And can I say, I actually think it's quite good when some things don't work, because then we can see the action that you went through in order to get it right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's really valuable that just, said, oh, I didn't do that. So right at the beginning, for example, when you said, oh, I know what I've done, what was it that you had done that meant that you couldn't mark it?
Oh, well, the thing is, the good thing about Carousel is they're constantly thinking about how students might cheat. So what I had done was I had gone from the student mode. As soon as I go to student mode here, and if I want to retake the test, yeah, I'm ready. It's fine, I can do it. But now if I go back as the teacher, I have to refresh and log in again. You cannot have 2 carousel pages open at the same time.
Yeah.
And that was the mistake I was making.
Yeah, it's really good. So I noticed that what was happening while you were, it's brilliant what you did. And what was really good was the teamwork here, because Esmeralda also uses this. As people were asking questions, she immediately went in with the answers. So
Thanks,
that I think, and I'm very happy if anybody has got any questions, just open up and ask. Is anybody who's got any questions? Otherwise, it just remains to say thank you so much to you, Jane. By the way, Joe had a few little problems with his mouse and his connection. Joe, at any point you can jump in and join in. But otherwise, I think we'll just go. But round of applause to Jane. Thank you.
Can I just say, somebody said it looks really complicated. It isn't. It's just a step-by-step process. And just it's worth having a go.
And that's it, isn't it? When something offers as much as that, you've got to, and it's also really, if I can just say, for quite a lot of us have seen the process before in quite a lot of detail with Julia's session, where she showed us how she set up the spreadsheet, how she made sure that almost you have this one input. It takes quite a while to do all of the input. Once you've done that, it can be applied to so many things. So
I agree.
your Excel spreadsheet, you can have all of those numbers, and then you can copy and paste into Text-to-Date, into
Yes.
into and Kahoot. I notice now that it's also got a way that you can upload things. So almost that's the thing we need, isn't it? Some central bank of Excel spreadsheets, which has got everything that any teacher would want. And then
it's a great idea.
because your idea, Jane, you know, I find the good thing about Kahoot and Quizlet is that you can copy other people's, and then you can sometimes eliminate errors or add things. So if that is not something which Carousel offers, that's something that perhaps we can organize something where we can say, look, there's the bank of where all of our phrases are. Which
I'm sure we could ask Carousel Learn to make, it may be that I've not spotted how you can edit it, but I think we could ask Carousel Learn to make that a feature.
because Carousel, am I right? Is that the same person who set up the Flipperty and all that?
It's Joshua Perry, Adam Boxer, and there's one other person I can't remember who.
Yes, so they're teachers, aren't they, who are really keen to share their expertise. So I'm sure that would be a really good thing.
I'm wondering if you can do a Wakelet or a Padlet as well, where you can just link spreadsheets to it, and then you can have different Excel sheets, which then can be imported in all these different websites.
Yeah, definitely. I'm happy to set that up.
Please, that would be lovely.
Yeah, that would be great.
There you are, little, and what in Wakelet? Wakelet seems to be a good thing.
Yeah, or Padlet. I don't know. Padlet's probably the easiest, I guess.
Yeah, you decide, you tell us, and then if I can put that onto the website, I think that's an excellent. I mean, the thing, I'm going to be honest with you, I think we've got to be a little bit careful about it, because it is some of this, even though words are not copyright, groups of words which you know, which a book has put together, it could be seen as copyright, really, because they've grouped them together. So I shouldn't be saying this.
Yeah, but on Quizlet you can find them all as well, so that's kind of the same list, isn't it? I think
Jimena's asked, you can't edit your questions if you use a question bank. Yeah, you can edit your own questions. You would just edit them in the spreadsheet. And by the way, the spreadsheet I uploaded today is one I created last week after I'd watched Julia's presentation. So I just
I put the link to the other retrieval roulette in the chat a few minutes ago, if anyone wants to see that. I mean, because you can use the same question bank for Carousel and the retrieval roulette.
I think that's such a good idea. Yeah. By the way, I don't know how committed you are to Padlet, but I've just seen Jérôme's.
Yeah, all right, Jérôme.
Yeah, he's very keen.
Of course, so I think it's got to be Wakelet, because Jérôme now.
Okay.
That's really good.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Have I missed any other questions there? Just tell me now. Anybody open up your webcam? Tell me. Nope. Okay, so we've had two wonderful presentations, and now we have got Rachel and Sabine. Now, I've made you both co-hosts, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So over to you.
Right. Hopefully my hour is ready. Let's move that bar out the way. Okay. Hopefully everybody can see the PowerPoint coming up now.
Can I just say, I'm so looking forward to this, because I've heard people talking about this. I haven't seen it at all. Didn't know how to pronounce it. So I think we're really, really looking forward to this bit.
You're not the only one that doesn't know how to pronounce it, because actually, funnily enough, on the website, they actually have a button which says pronunciation, and you click on it and it tells you. So it actually is Blucket. Which is the way I said it, being from the Midlands. We have short vowel sounds, so it was look, book, so it made sense. But I know there was discussion last week as to whether it was longer, and I went back and checked and thought, have I just been saying it with my Midlands accent or what? But no, it is Blucket. Okay, so I came across this. It was somehow popped up on Twitter in November. So I'd started using it with my classes in November, actually in the classroom. Limited though, because we have limited access in school to computers. So for me, mostly before lockdown, I used it as a homework, which was really, really nice. And Sabine is going to show you how to do the homework for that. So I'm going to pass over to Sabine. So she's going to show you the first few bits and pieces. But the thing that's fantastic about it, you'll see as you go through it, it is visually gorgeous. It's so appealing, and as you'll see, it's so easy to use. It really is. Okay, over to you, Sabine.
So
And
yes,
can I
so
say
hi.
what a lovely, I just have to say what I love. You just got to let us feast our eyes on this lovely, this slide here. Look at it. You're wonderful. Your Bitmojis.
So,
I'll stop interrupting. I'll stop doing it in a minute, but just that was lovely.
yeah, so hi, I'm Sabine. So I've used Booklet as well since October, November, and actually my colleague Jess Golding introduced it to me. And when she said, "Oh, I've got something to show you, I've got a new website to show you," first I thought, no, I can't take it. I can't take another website. We've just launched LanguageNet with our student. We've gone paperless this year and got everybody on Class Notebook using Teams. And we've set up Quizlet and got all our students using Quizlet. So I thought first I can't use another website, and secondly, our students might not cope with yet another website. But then I was curious. I started to hear the German student from my colleague using it, and the feedback started to be very, very positive. So I thought, well, let's have a go. Let's have a look for the French students. And I decided to look into it. I was amazed on how easy it is to set up. So if you want to go to the next slide, Rachel, please.
Yeah.
So what I love about Bluecat is that it's very low prep. It's perfect for retrieval practice. It's obviously it's games, so students love it. It's perfect for live lessons. Now we are in this lockdown, but it's also great for asynchronous and for as homework. It's great for consolidation. It's super competitive. Students really enjoy it. Students do not have to log in. It's very easy to access. We give them a link of a game or a code of the game, and they can just join instantly. And it's fun. It's really fun, and that's what the students are saying. It's fun, fun, fun. And I would say that it's a perfect hook. So there's like carousel or spiral are much more for deep learning, I would say. But Bluecat is a perfect plenary, is a perfect incentive for students to join in our live lesson. And often my students are saying, so are we doing a game, Miss? And I say, yes, we're going to practice the vocab, do a few like proper learning, and then we will do a game. So the way I set up my Bluecat is, as you can see on the slide, I've got a sentence builder. So all our lessons have sentence builder. So that's my first rectangle is a sentence builder. I put all my vocabulary from my sentence builder into Quizlet. And we've got a departmental account, but if you do not have Quizlet, you can also import any Quizlet vocabularies from any people who have shared their Quizlet. And then from my Quizlet, I take that vocabulary and import it instantly into Bluecat. And that's the final, that's a Bluecat, for example. And every single step. So once I've written my vocab into my sentence builder, which is a main lengthy, laborious work, I then paste all the vocab in Quizlet, and then it's very, very quick. Within seconds, you've created Bluecat. So next slide, yes.
What do you want? Yeah.
So now we're going to show you. So Rachel is going to show you how to set up your Bluecat manually, and how to host a live game. And I'm going to show you how to do the Quizlet import, which is very lazy. I actually don't know how to set up manually. I've never done it. And and I'm going to show you how to set up homework. So shall I share my screen now?
Yes, go for it, Sabine.
So I'm going to share my screen. This will stop. Yes.
I'll stop sharing mine.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see anything?
Oh, yes, we can see your very busy desktop.
Yeah, my very busy desktop, indeed. Right. So here's a Bluecat. So that's my Bluecat. I've logged on already. And that's all my sets that I've created. So at first, I didn't realize that you could upload a photo when you create a set. And when you create your set like that, now I like to put a photo of my PowerPoint lesson. So when I want to assign student homework and when I want to play a live game, it's very easy for me to see which lesson, which year group I'm doing, because I've got my first slide of the PowerPoint. So I'm going to share you how to create now a game. So I'm going to click here with create. So that's going to be, so yeah. Oops, create. And so that's asking me here if I want to put a cover photo. So I quite like to put, as I just said, my PowerPoint first slide with the title, the objectives, but you don't have to, or you can upload any photo from the gallery or any photo. So I will have to give a title. So for example, mes matières. And then it's going to ask me to create the creation methods, either manual or Quizlet import. And so I'm going to click here for create your set. And here I'm going to have to import my questions from Quizlet. So it's asking me find a step. So everything is really idiot proof. It's telling you exactly what you do. So you can go directly on your Quizlet. So that would take me to my Quizlet. So if I click here, that will open my Quizlet, my Swavesy MFL account. Okay, and then I want to find my vocab list. So I've asked for mes matières. Bon, we can take any list. I'm just going to take this one, for example. Okay, so no, that's not, actually, that's not the right step. Let me go back to my Quizlet. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. Right, and here, so on Quizlet, you've got your 3 dots at the bottom. So I'm gonna up, and here you've got your export button. So that's how I would get all this vocabulary. So that's obviously not the right language, not the right sets that I want to export. But I would go into Quizlet, click on the 3 dots, export the vocab, copy the vocab, and then I can go back to Bluecat. So here I'm back on Bluecat. I go next step, which is telling me this step to export my vocab. And then next step, and then here I can paste all my vocab in a second, and I click add questions. And that's it. So all my questions are here, and I can set up a time limit for students. I can check the order if they want to be organized in random order or not, and then I can save my set. So that's creating my set just here, mes matières, and I can see that there's 15 questions. Okay, so then how would we host a game, like set up a game and set up as a homework? So I would take, for example, any of my sets. I'll click on it. I'll click host. Okay, and I can select game mode. So not certain games are only for live, and certain games are only for homework, and certain games have both features. So for example, Crazy Kingdom and Tower of Doom can only be set assigned homework. So we can't play them live. But the classic can only be played live. Battle Royale only live. Factory is both homework and host. So if I wanted to set up a homework, I would go, for example, Tower of Doom, assign homework. And here, that's it. I would just need to change the validity of how many days do I want my homework to be valid. It's maximum 7 days. And then I would click assigned. And that should give me a code in a second. I think it's a bit slow because I'm on the Zoom, but that would give me a normally much more quickly Bluecat code. Here it is. Yeah, so here's my joining code. So what I would say, I would just copy, like take a snip of that screen and put it on my PowerPoint at the moment where, or give this code to my students. So that's how we would set up a homework. And then if I go back onto home, no, on my dashboard, I can see homework here. And that's all the homework I've set up. And I can see the due dates. There's a latest feature is now we can extend the deadline and the time for students to recomplete their homework. And I can see if I click on history, it's very, very slow, I'm sorry. I can see the homework and the completion of homework. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing now.
Okay.
And Rachel is now gonna share how to host a live game. If we have time, we may launch a live game or not.
Okay.
Yes, we
right.
will definitely have time. Julia wants to play. So if Julia wants
Can
to
you see
play,
my screen again now? Is that okay?
Yes.
Am I back
Yes.
on? Okay, so the first thing is showing it from scratch, how to make it. So that's dead easy. So at the top, you've got all these little icons at the top with a little house and stuff like that. So there is one of those with the pen, which is create. That shows you the same as Sabine just showed you there. You'd put your title in here. I'm just and your description. And the only difference is here is that you then click on manual and create. And this works like if you've made your own Quizlets, not Quizlet, Kahoot, very similar. So you can put your question in here. I mean, I like to do it with pictures sometimes. So if I'm doing animals, say pets, for example, I might put the picture of the pet in there, and then I'd put what's the German for this animal, and then give my 4 options in here, put them all in there, and then press save. And then you could just keep adding questions to it. So it's really, really dead simple. There's not much sort of complicated there about that. The other thing you can do is you've got your own sets. So if I go back to my dashboard, these are my sets that I've made. So some of these I have done in Quizlet to start with, and I exported them. Some of them I've made myself. I've tried to put pictures on them so that I know what they are. There is one very random one in there with the maps one. That's for my Explorer Scouts, because I'm an Explorer Scout leader and I've been playing it with them as well, which they find it quite amusing as well. So you can just put anything in yourself. So if you want to use somebody else's set, you just go to at the top where there's a little kind of compass thing and it says discover. So you click on discover, and it gives you all the different types there that other people have made, because as you make yours, it makes it public. Now I don't do Spanish, but I thought I'll try. So if I put a Spanish one in, so mascotas, so we've got pets. So it gives you all the ones that other people have made. If you want to know what, so let's say 15 on there, I'm going to have a look at this one. It will show me what the actual contents of this is, like you can do on Kahoot. I can review the questions before, I can see what the choice is and see if does that suit my class, does that work? And if it does, then the only way I can save it is I click on star. So I star it, okay? If I go back to my, puts it in my favorites, you see down the left hand side, you've got these options here, one of them being favorite with a star on it again. If you click on there, these are the favorites. So these are ones that I've not made myself, but I've found someone else. And as you can see, a lot of us are using the different textbooks like Studio and Stimmt and Viva, and there are lots of those. People are actually kind enough to actually have labelled them that clearly. So I've been using them as homeworks to straight after. Ones I made myself I used for revision for exams and things like that. So there is loads of them out there for you to choose as well. The only thing you can't, well, a couple of things that you can't do, because I've been using a free account, and you can't put them in, you can't organise your things into a folder. If you want to do that, you've got to pay for the extra, and it's $3.99 paid in dollars a month, so it works out about $36 a year. So for me, I don't think it's worth it at the moment, but we'll see how it goes. I'm trying to kind of make sure that mine have got clear pictures on them like Sabine's doing with hers, so that I can find them quite quickly. There is one thing that I do want to kind of warn people a little bit about, because it is great and it is fantastic and I do love it, but if we go on to the statistics bit, there is one kind of slight thing here. This bit here that says on the little blue box towards the top that says join our student Discord. this is actually an internet chat room. Okay, so this is where I think it is fantastic. The site is absolutely brilliant, but I am not allowing and I'm not encouraging any of my students to make their own accounts. Okay, you can make your own account and you as a teacher have to make one to do this, but I checked out the regulations on this and it's recommended to age 13 plus. People do go on to it just to share pins of games that they've made themselves, but I just don't, I think you need to steer well clear of that. So although it is a fantastic site, and I have contacted them through Twitter and said, you know, is there something where you can block this? And they are looking at this because I just don't think it's needed here. I just you can play, you know, before I played it with the classes, I played it myself, and you can play quite happily and quite addictively on your own. You don't need to be playing these other things. So just be aware of that, guys. I wouldn't encourage your kids to make their own accounts because of that. That's my only kind of sort of warning there. The only other thing that I wanted to, so Sabine's already showed you the history. If you go into the history of so I've got one of my classes did here, it will give you statistics. So it will show you how many children in class actually took what, so how many played, how many correct answers there were, how many incorrect answers, and then it knocks it down to individual children. So it will tell you how many answers, it shows you on the right hand side how many questions they answered, and it will show you on the left hand side, which I think is the more informative, of the percentage of correct answers they got right. So you can see here quite a few of mine actually were getting in the 90s. So really, I mean, I would hope so, to be honest. These I'll let you into these are year 9, so I should hope that they do know there's 0 to 30, but you never know. If you want, that's as far as you can get with this. If you, I think another feature of the paid one, if you click on this, it will give you a possibly a question level analysis on it, but I think that's probably more than you need, to be honest. Okay, so I think we'll have a go at a game if that's what we'd like to do. So I'm going to choose a game.
I'll paste the number in the chat if you want, Rachel.
Yeah, lovely. Have you chosen one already to do, or
no?
Okay, right. Okay. The other thing to you have, when you play it in the classroom, there's 2 different views. So you will get one view where you actually have to answer the question. So for example, let me do a quick single one. Oh, it doesn't want to let me click on it. Why isn't it let me choose game? Oh, okay. I realise it's behind Sabine. I've got to actually play the game. Okay, hold on. Go back to my dashboard. Just choose. Let's do a solo one so you can see it. So just to literally show you what it looks like. So for this student, let's say for the cafe, you're going to have the cafe view. You can see people come. This is one of the favorites of my classes, that you are you've got a cafe, you're trying to sell food to the little booklets that are coming in. If you're not fast enough, you lose the game or you lose points. You've got to keep restocking your food, but to do that, this is where the language comes in. So you've got to be able to do the questions in order to get the food. Right, so that they will see this only. Right, so they will see the people they've got to feed. What you have is a leaderboard showing you who's doing well and stuff like that. The race one is particularly good for that because you can hover over the people on the race and you can see who's doing really well. So actually, in fact, that's the one that I'm going to suggest that we have a go at as a group. I am going to be mean to people. I'm going to go because German is always the poor cousin, and I am going to make it a German one. I've made it easy, so numbers. So okay, so make it nice and quick. You can change the number of questions if you want. So basically, it's the person to get to 30 questions correct first will win. You will get a different view to us. I'm going to turn the music off for a second. Let's put the should be able to copy and paste if I can get into the chat.
I've just pasted the code in the chat.
Oh, you managed it?
Yeah.
Or you can post the link. I've put the link there.
Perfect.
Okay. Because there we go. People are rocking it already.
It's very, very quick, and you can tell students straight away getting games instantaneously. So it's perfect for a live lesson.
The only thing that you can only get 60 players at the moment, but that is a new update that they're removing that because it's 60 tops at the moment. So we'll give you sort of get sort of how many we can get on. You're going to look very tiny on the racetrack though. What the kids really like about these, they like about the race and the factory setting, is that you can sabotage each other. So you may find that as you're going through, when you get to a certain number of points or you've been really quick with it, it will give you the ability to throw snakes in the way of somebody or to put a tree in the way, or so things get in the way of their screen and they can't move on and answer the next question. And the kids find that absolutely hilarious.
And
They really like that little naughtiness about it.
It's not necessarily the best linguist who win the race. We had teachers playing with students and they finished last because students know automatically what to do with the games.
I found it was a real motivator as well, particularly when we're in school. I noticed I had some boys in particular who were really disaffected in year 9, and actually I had a child as well who'd never done French before, and he was in my year 9 French, so he didn't actually know the vocab we were using, but I gave him the knowledge organizer that I'd taken the vocab from. Oh, there you go, I've told a lie, they've already removed the 60 thingy there. I'll give it one more minute and then we'll start. I'm aware that we've got someone to come after us and this we need to finish off, but they wanted to play and they wanted to beat their classmates, and it was really, really interesting that it actually got kids that normally just didn't want to do, and they don't realize they are learning, they are practicing, and it's great for that recall, consolidation, all that kind of stuff. Right, going to give it a start. Here we go.
And people can join late as well. So
yes.
Okay, go. And in a live lesson setting, I would normally do a commentary and encourage students so they can all hear and play. So it does recreate the class atmosphere, and it does break the monotony of this lockdown for students. It's exciting. They play a game. They're all competing against each other.
No, I like that. So like, for example, come on, Rat, you haven't, answer some questions. Come on, Glenn, keep going. Oh, Mrs. CK is in the front. Who's coming up behind her? Oh, Sarah's catching up. They've gone backwards. They've been pushed back. Oh, somebody else came. Esmeralda speeding on the iron back there. Oh, no, she's been pushed back as well. So either she's got an answer wrong or somebody's pushed her back with something in the way. CB's right at the front there. Nick's doing really well. Well done, Rat. You're getting some answers right now. Brilliant. Come on, Glenn, you're doing great.
So it's really inclusive. You can really get your classes. They really feel like they are in the classroom. They really feel like you're watching them, and that adds to the competitive element and to motivate them. And it's I think it's a great plenary or activity, 5-minute activity in a live lesson, and students really
another advantage as well, which I played it on Friday with one of my year 7 groups, and the learning support lady in there said, oh my gosh, they only need one screen. So although there are 2 modes, so I can see this as those people not playing can see the race and see all the little things going back on the little people on the racetrack, they don't need to, and whereas when you play Kahoot you need 2 screens because you've only got the 4 options and you haven't actually got the question. With this they have, we go, we finished our race already.
Charlotte, well done. Alison and
the
Sarah.
winner was Sarah. Fantastic, well done. Right,
and
go on, Sabine.
Sorry, I often take a screenshot of the final standing and I will paste it on Teams on the at the end of the live meeting to say, okay, well done everybody for participating. Here's the final standings, and they do like it, and they do want to come back to live lessons. And
definitely, I've used it at the middle to wake them up, to check they're still there and they're actually playing, because they haven't gone and wandered off and had a cup of tea, and as a reward at the end as well. And it's works with all year groups. It does. Okay, so I think we're done, aren't we? Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I think we can really see why this has taken off, I must say. I'd be quite interested to know about the placings of it. Are we all awesome? Do we all get awesome afterwards? Because I was awesome, apparently, even though I don't.
Well done, Helen. I'm sure you were awesome.
I was. Yes, that's right.
That's very positive.
Round of applause. everybody. Thank you ever so
Thank you.
much.
You're welcome.
And I think again, questions are being asked, but we've got some people who are real ambassadors for this, answering questions. So really, really well done. I hope that Julia's happy now, because I think we all wanted to play the game anyway, really, didn't we? So that was lovely. Thank you. And wonderful debut there, Rachel.
Oh, thank you. I can relax now. So nervous.
And of course, we're familiar with Sabine, but you did well as well. So lovely. And I
Thank you.
love your backgrounds as well. That's great.
Oh, that was Sabine. That was Sabine. She's a star.
Yeah, she is. She is. Okay, well, unless anybody else has got an urgent question on that, I mean, we can always at the end hang around. You can hang around as long as you like, really. I can just leave this open. But we're now going to move to Esther. And I'm looking forward to this. This is, well, it's always slightly worrying breakout groups as to whether anybody's going to come back again at the end.
Yeah, it is. But it's like, I was thinking, it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to do like maybe like 8 or 9 breakout rooms or something like that. And at the end I was thinking, maybe I'm going to do 4 massive breakout rooms. And that's it. And I have the chance to move to 4 breakout rooms, because I want to show you that if we're doing, like, for example, 10 breakout rooms, we can finish absolutely crazy as in the classroom. I was thinking, okay, we're going to do this. And I'm going to show you like one thing, how we can do in a breakout room, but we're going to do together. And another next thing that I'm going to put like a shared document. And I'm going to do the 4 breakout rooms. And maybe I'm going to try to move someone to be like the kind of masters on the breakout rooms and things like that. But
and before
we'll
we start, can I just check? Because I know I'm host and I can definitely see the thing for breakout rooms. But can you as co-host, or shall I make you host now? Can you,
okay.
As co-host, can you see it, or shall I make you host?
I think that just a second. I'm going to
I'd like
see
you
if I
to be
can do.
responsible for this, Esther.
Gosh, now it's too much pressure. Now I'm scared. Or if it's not, we can do one thing. When I let you know, I can tell you we can do 4 breakout rooms and assign directly to Zoom to put
I think I'll make you host. It would be quite
okay.
Nice if you co-host, so I've still got a little bit of power.
Okay. Now it's scary, yeah. It's like no,
right, so you are now host, so you can see the button about the breakouts and you can control everything.
Okay, let me see.
Because we've had poor Joe, by the way, just say Joe did have connection issues with his mouse, so he is there and he is listening.
Yeah.
Just that you know, I'm not just taking. Oh, there he is. So he was approving of me just jumping in, weren't you?
Like, yeah. Yeah, I see that now. I can move the breakout rooms. I'm going to start without breakout rooms, and after that we're going to try to do one of the breakout rooms because we are 100 something, but we'll see how it works. Okay, it's like, and you can see as well that it's not challenging, but the only thing is like, because we are more than 100, yes, it could be, but we're going to try it. Okay. Well, I'm Esther, and the thing is, I'm going to do one thing that it's before starts to sharing the screen. It's the screen.
And by the way, as I say, if you could make me co-host, that would be nice. Then at least I can,
of course. But just a second, that I need to find you participants. Okay, now I'm going to try to find. Okay, Helen.
Or ALL London. Yes, I've tell everybody to change their names and I haven't done it.
ALL London, and I'm doing more, and make co-host.
Oh no, co-host.
Co-host, yes, I did co-host. Yes, you're gonna have to be co-host now.
Lovely,
yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Oof, that was like was this kind of moments that is like, okay, if something gets wrong. Okay, I'm gonna start to sharing the screen, and after that, with the PowerPoint, and we're gonna see how we're going through. Okay, and okay, that's it. I choose the good screen because since I'm going with 2 screens, sometimes it's quite like I'm pressing the correct button or not. Okay, not for this one. Just a second. I think that it's like now. Okay, we are here now with the breakout rooms. Okay, and I put this kind of image because we can hiding a tiny little bit. I'm teaching in higher education at Cardiff University. My name is Esther. And I think it's like we've been doing the live session since the first lockdown in March of 2020, that now it seems like of a galaxy far, far away. But we start doing this kind of like live sessions with all the students since March. And after that, when we were back on September, we were doing this kind of hybrid thing that it was like part of the lessons they were face-to-face in a classroom, and another ones that they were through screens, they were live too. And it was a part as well that it was asynchronous. It was like a kind of a mixture of everything. Now we are back again to just with the screens, but we doing most of the things live. We can say it's like the 100% plus a kind of like clinic lessons that they are asynchronous or drop-in sessions as well. Okay. And the thing that I want to show you, it's things that we've been working through before that it's with the breakout rooms for what we can use breakout rooms, because now Teams finally set the breakout rooms, and lots of teachers it's asking, well, but for what I can use the breakout rooms, what I can do with the breakout rooms, how they work the breakout rooms, and those kind of questions. And I want to show you that they work really easily, really easy. And they work as well as the same way that they work in Zoom. It's like, but first I want to say thanks to all these lovely people that it's been helping these last days for doing the presentation. And I put Jesus and Vale here because we record a small video to show you how we settle the breakout rooms. But that day, my internet connection was like Natasha today, that it was really, really crumbled the sound. And it was like, even if I trim the video, I'm not able to use. That's why I put this screenshot from them. And it's a thank you that helped to me for that time. But we're going to show you with another thing. We are again with the third lockdown. Now, most of the schools, they are starts to using Microsoft Teams, but for doing live sessions and doing more things as if it was like the kind of in classroom lessons. And now it's like, because Teams just released that thing, it's like, how we doing those things? Okay. And one of the things that I want to show you is you can see my Teams now. And the thing that I want to show you, imagine that now I want to do a breakout room. I'm alone, but I can set a meeting now. And the thing that we're gonna see is like now, it's like I'm joining now myself with the camera off. And now we can see, can you see this kind of a square bottom? These kind of symbols, we have hide participants, we have the show conversation for the chat, the icon from the right hand. We can do more because we can choose the backgrounds. When we have problems with the safeguarding, like what we can do with the students, they can put backgrounds and no one can see any room or anything. But for this, I'm going to explain you at the end of the presentation what we can do. And look what we have here. We have this square bottom that it's for settle the breakout rooms. If we were more people here in that team, we will press breakout room. And after that, we go directly to choose what we want to do. If we want to choose the room manually or we want to choose automatically. Normally, the thing that I'm doing, it's like, it depends on what kind of work I want to do. I press that they can do automatically, even either Zoom, either Teams. But sometimes maybe you want to focus differently on the work that you want to do. And after that, you put manually. One of the things that we need to take in consideration, if you saw, I didn't open my Teams from the browser. I opened from my app on the desktop. We must use we couldn't use the browser. We must use Teams app on our desktop. If it's not, we are not able to settle a breakout room. That's one of the issues that Zoom doesn't have, but Teams, we need to remember that. Later on, what's another thing that is different from Zoom, for example? We couldn't do co-host or change the host. It's just the person that set the meeting that it's the master and commander. We couldn't change to anybody else. And it just us that we can settle the breakout rooms, okay? Participants, they can use their phone from the browser or from any device, but us as a host, we need to open from the desktop app, okay? What we have as well, the meeting organizer, it's the one that it's moved the rooms. And after that, imagine that we want to invite, I don't know, someone to help to us for that lesson today, or we're doing a webinar on the school. After that, because we're going to give that link to that person to join the Teams, we can put him or her on a breakout room as well. And it doesn't have to be part from our team channel or be part of our school teams, okay? That is in a screenshot that I made to show you. Remember that it's this icon for go to the breakout rooms. And after that, we can choose if we want to sign manually or if we want to sign automatically. and we join them. And after that, we can move through the breakout rooms. We can move one to the others. And we can as well chat to everybody and says, look, you need to do this, you need to do that. In 1 minute, we're going to come back to see you in the main room, etc., etc. And after that, we click close all the rooms, boom, and we're going back to the main room. Okay? But it's going to come in soon with Teams. I think that it's going to be at the end of February, March, beginning of March. Zoom is going to have the ability to pre-configure the breakout rooms, because, for example, in Zoom, if we know the students that they're going to be there, we can settle the rooms in advance. I normally recommend don't do it, because any student could be ill that day or couldn't join the lesson. And after that, maybe we leave one team that we wanted to do something without enough people. And what else we're going to be able to do in Teams? We're going to be able to have multiple meeting organizers. We're going to have the chance to having co-host as we have now in Zoom. And we're going to be able to sharing meeting content from the breakout rooms back into the main meeting that now we are not able in Teams, okay? And for what we can use the breakout rooms, we can use them for be an icebreaker, as a starter activity. We can use the breakout room for practice vocabulary, for do a small work in pairs, for example, or for do group exercises, like when we wanted to do something in between 3 or 4 students. We can group the rooms into ability-based sets. Imagine that we have students with lower skills. We put them together because maybe we don't want that left them behind, and we can help to them to doing some other kind of exercises that now maybe they feel a struggle to do something. We can practice for our GCSE speaking exam, or for the year 12 debates, or even practice for the year 13 presentations. I know that we couldn't evaluate the year 13 presentations, but it gives the chance that the students can practice the presentation, and one of the classroom mates says, okay, maybe put this better, organize in another way, you repeat too much those words, etc., etc. And after that, what we can do as well, we can give to our students some kind of collaborative work. And after that, we can see the results on the main room about this. And last but not least, I think that it's one way that our lessons look like before the lockdowns, with all the difference that we have, but they can look a tiny bit like that. One of the first things that we can use that it's really easy to use, for example, it's use the non-verbal feedback that we have in Zoom. You know that where we have our name, we have the icons for lower the hand, say yes, say no, go slower, go faster, and etc. We have as well a small round with 3 dots. If that one we press, it's going to appear like an icon that says thumbs up, thumbs down, a clapping hands, a cup of coffee or tea, and a clock. Okay, and this one I used several times when I want to join the teams and I want to put the students in different teams in the result of the icon that they use. And I say to the students, for example, choose one of those icons. And the good thing, it's like when we see participants, when we click on participants, we're going to see who is choosing each symbol. And after that, we set the room and we say, okay, for example, Nick choose the clock and Helen choose the thumbs up. Okay, room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4. And we're repeating with the students. And it's quite fast and easy to do it, because when we settle the room, we see like a list of the students that appears. And we have in our right part of the screen which symbol each student choose. Okay, one of the things that I use after choose the symbols, maybe you can see is like, wow, that debate, maybe it's too much for my students. Okay, I use for them because they should to prepare a presentation about going to a job interviews, or maybe talking about what important is learning languages in order to find a job, or if the universities prepare the students, okay, to to accede to a workplace, etc., etc. For what we can change for us, for example, we can say, okay, I'm going to put a GCSE photo card. Each team is going to talking about, for example, my neighborhood. And each team is going to talk about the description of the neighborhood, but we're going to settle different questions to each room. And they're going to practicing, for example, what is on your neighborhood, if it's too polluted, or for example, if it's a leisure center, if they are shops, etc., etc. What we can do, for example, if we are in year 10, we can put them in pairs. And after that, for example, says to them, okay, we're going to practicing about what we did yesterday about descriptions. Someone is going to describe one to each other, and they're going to put in common the vocabulary that we learn. Okay. For A-level debate, we can use in a small article that appears on the news. And after that, we embed one question to say, okay, we're going to debate about this topic related about, for example, immigration. And we use like a headline from a news that appears, for example, last week in Spain or in France or in Germany. And after that, we settle that debate. And the students, they are in pairs in each breakout room. And it gives them the chance to practice something that maybe if we are all of us together with all the screens, they don't have that chance to do it. And most of them, sometimes they could feel quite like, okay, I don't want to speak in front of 10 or 12 people more. And that's the way that they can practice in the debate as they're going to need to do their exams, for example. Or imagine that we want to say is like, okay, we're going to go a tiny bit further. We can give to them a flippity vote, and after that, they work in pairs. Meanwhile, they are on the breakout room. They record one to each other. It's like because they can record the things that they're going to do. And we see that they did the task. Plus, as well, later on, we can give to them the feedback because they can help one to each other to do this small clip. But at the same time as well, when we finish the lesson, we can give to them feedback. And it helps to us to don't say, okay, now we finish the lesson, you have 10 minutes, come back to Connect, and we're going to talk about this. They can do in live in different breakout rooms, okay? And for example, imagine that now I put you, for example, I want to show you like this small video that it's 1 minute, and I show you for what you can use it.
Hello, buenas.
Sí, buena, Brea.
Hey, ¿quién anda ahí?
Arturo Merán.
Arturo, ¿de dónde, brother?
Estamos aquí de Salcedo.
Ah, de Salcedo. Saludos para toda mi gente de Salcedo. La gente buena del Cibao. Brother, cuéntamelo todo. Saluda a tu gente.
No, yo lo que quiero es pedir a ver si tú me pones una canción.
Claro que sí, mi brother, la que tú digas.
Sí, yo quiero que tú me pongas la canción que dice, ¿esos son Reebok o son Nike?
¿Esos son Reebok o son Nike?
Sí.
Pero, ¿cómo se llama? ¿Cómo se llama?
¿Son Reebok o son Nike?
¿Esos son Reebok o son Nike?
A ver, compláceme, que me gusta mucho esa canción. Está muy pegada esa canción.
¿Esos son Reebok o son Nike? ¿Será esta, brother? ¿Será esta?
Esa misma, Brea, esa misma es.
Okay, I showed to my students, for example, that video, that it was like a silly track of 1 minute, and it helps to them to start a debate about how we feeling when we travel abroad. Do we were like in a kind of situation that we were lost in translation? We were in some embarrassed situation, for example, or we were imagining like a lyrics of a song, or we are singing a song, and after that we realized that it was completely different, and with things like, oh my goodness, what I did, no? Or for example, if you never had this kind of situation that you asked to someone for something and it was completely wrong the way that we were pronouncing, and it was a way that they start a debate. I put here the link of another video, for example, that you can use for your students on A levels, that in that case, that video, it's not like the one that they're asking for that song. It's a video that it's a 3 minutes video about a gay couple that they adopt 2 kids, and they explain the process to adopting those kids. Why not to use that video in order to talking about the differences in between the family, plus as well how talking about the difference, because it's one of the topics that they have to do on their year 12, for example. And it's a way that we can do different things without has to preparing something that it's super challenging. And the thing it's like we can use those breakout rooms for doing this. One of the things that I'm doing always when I leave the students on the breakout room, I always passing to the different breakout rooms. I never left disattended all the breakout rooms. You pass to the different breakout rooms and you say how it's going, etc., etc. Or you close the camera, you listen in them, and you chat to them and you say, you're doing really well done, etc., etc. Okay? What's the other thing that we can do? Because we are quite a lot of people, okay? The thing that I'm going to do is open directly that generally, that it's a tiny, small, silly escape room. Okay, it's like I'm not in any way as Esmeralda Salgado or Maria Arillot, that they are, it's like Maria Arillot, she's the queen of the escape rooms in generally in that case. But as well, at the end of the presentation, I put the links for if someone's needed to how to settle a genially snakes and ladders that Esmeralda did a video that it's really straightforward to understand. Plus Maria Arillot, a Padlet that she shared with everybody.
Claro que sí, mi brother, la que tú dices.
Okay.
Yo quiero que tú me pongas la canción que
That's the second.
¿Son Reebok o son Nike?
Esos son Reebok.
Okay, that it was a video that it was sounding on the background. Okay, what we're gonna do now, it's like I'm going to go to the Genially breakout room, okay, and I show you, I'm gonna need your help to sort it out, and we're going out from here. Okay, we're gonna do together, because how we can do this breakout room with our students. We settle the breakout rooms and we send to them the link for that escape room. And after that, one of our students, it's the one that is going to share the screen with the others, okay? And it's going to be the master of that breakout room. And the students, they have to pass in all the tests that they have to do, okay? For this, I put as well in a screenshot that Esmeralda did a few days ago from Twitter, and you can see later on. But now we go together to this, okay?
Can I just ask, Esther, when I set up this Zoom, I'm just worried that perhaps I should have said that everyone's allowed to share their screen, and I didn't. I'm just hoping this is going to work.
The thing that we're going to do, it's like, because I'm going to open from myself, I'm going to need your help that you can chat, for example, or let me know, for example, I think that most of you can open the microphones. You can help me with the microphones just to sort it out, the one puzzle that we have. And after that, because maybe we are not able to share the screen, the thing that I'm going to do for the other one, it's put in breakout rooms and share the document that it's a shared folder and says that, for example, this person on that breakout room, this other one, and that other one, it's going to be the one that helped to do the document, but they don't have to share the screen. We can explain what it's on this document, that it's really simple, okay? The thing that we're going to do, it's like, I'm going to start this one and I'm going to ask you for help with the microphones, okay? It's like we have a mission, okay? We need to find all London website password, because without that password, we are not able to do any more webinars. We have a problem, okay? And I explain you what problem we have, for example. Helen's computer was hacked. She sorted out nowadays what was happening, okay? But we're still having some few problems, because few things they are missing, as always happen with some hacking. One of the things is that we need to find the password. Without password, it's no any more webinars, okay? For this, we have a team that is going to help us to sort it out what is happening, okay? And we have 4 people. We have Malaga, we have Milan, we have Paris, and we have Bonn, okay? These 4 people, okay, they explain to us something. I give you a tip. We need to have a look on the foreign languages words, okay? It's like we have information from Malaga. With Malaga, they say that she's the dama of the student engagement. With Milan, it's like he's the presentations master, and he loves Lamponi. After that, what we have Paris. She's the team's nerd, and she loves écouter, a good story. And the last one, we have Bonn, okay? He can kill for any new education app, and he loves, apologize for that because I don't know exactly how you pronounce, Apple Cushion. And we need to find the surname of the MFL Twitterati surname. And we have a tip that pay attention on the words that they were in English words. And we have a small tip here, because we need to find something that is going to help us to unlock something. That if we go here, now we know that we need to find a kind of password. Do you remember the 4 different words that they were? I think that it was dama, it was lamponi, écoute, and it was apple cushion.
Oh, that Adeline, she always gets there, doesn't she? She's
Yeah.
brilliant. If ever you get in a fix, you need Adeline.
And we need to know what we need for kind of little things. We need like to pay attention what we can take from those words. We need something. We need to find a surname.
She's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah. She got it within 2 seconds.
Yep. Okay. Can someone let me know what I have to type here?
Somebody else open up there. Okay.
Dale.
Okay. Fantastic.
All together. Dale.
Fantastic.
By the way, we do understand if people need to leave. Don't worry, but thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. We have Dale. Okay. And now we have a message that tell us you saved London webinars. Well done. Okay, we saved, we success the mission. And I wanted to show you that, for example, imagine that you have breakout rooms, escape rooms that you already have settled. It's like the only thing, it's like you can recycle in them, and after that you put 4 groups. Each group, it's doing on its space the escape room, and they can do something, and you're passing around and you control what they're doing. You don't leave them all the time, like do the things on your own, okay? And for this, because we are too many, it's going to be quite challenging, but I'm going to try to put this on the chat at least. If I can put it, because now it doesn't leave me to open the chat.
And by the
Okay,
way, just
yes.
to say, there are quite a lot of technical questions coming up about what you can do with breakout rooms. I suggest that we have another webinar for that side of things, because
Yes.
really Esther was going to be giving us ideas about what to do it. So I can see lots and lots of questions. We'll do another on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing is, like, if you want, it's like the thing that we can do, it's I don't know, it's like take all the questions that we have and we couldn't say today or something like that, and with the clinics that we're doing, we can
We'll do it in a clinic. We'll have a breakout clinic.
If you see now, you have on the chat one document that is in a SharePoint. Okay, imagine that we were in 4 different breakout rooms. Okay, the thing it's like we are not able to put at this precise moment the people to share in the screen. Okay, but imagine that I will put you in 4 different breakout rooms, because if you open the document, I want to show you how it looks like the document, and that's the way that I'm using it. Okay, I put in breakout rooms. I see that already some of you start to put inside that document. Why I like to doing this? Because I put the rooms. You can put 4, 5, or 6 rooms. I will recommend to you don't open massively rooms, because after that we getting crazy, moving one room to the other, etc., etc. That one, it's for control if our students, they are doing the work. Okay, because imagine that we want to practicing, for example, like in a small presentation, or we want to practicing with them a translation, or we want to practicing with them a kind of collaborative paragraph. Okay, you send the document to the breakout rooms, and the thing that you do, it's like you don't send maybe this kind of document with all the things open, but the thing that you do, I'm normally doing that, I'm putting 4 or 5 rooms. And what I'm doing, I'm saying room 1 has to work about, for example, for example, imagine that we want to do like a paragraph, no? It's like team 1, it's gonna do a paragraph about how looks like my neighborhood. Second room, it's gonna do a paragraph about what things they are on my neighborhood, okay? Third room, it's gonna write things like what it's not in my neighborhood, and I would like that had my neighborhood, for example. And the last room, it's talking about what did you do with your friends in your neighborhood, for example. And what you're doing here, it's like you move on the breakout rooms and you control what they're doing. But the good thing, it's like you have that document and you see in live what's the people it's doing and what each team is doing the work, and if they're doing the task or not. And because they have to share in this, it's more a struggle for them to use Google Translator and things like that. That it's not one of the things that, how we can see if they cheating too much or not, because we're going to see if someone doesn't write anything. And for example, it's really good when we want that the students, they start to practicing something in teams. For example, if we're talking about immigration, we can tell to them, it's like, have a look on those aspects of that topic, and they can do something different. And after that, they join the main room and they do together. Okay, those ones, they are like some tips more that we can do. You can use Quizlet. One room can do a Quizlet, and the other room can do an escape room. And another room can practice in the vocabulary, and maybe the fourth room, it's maybe someone that it was a struggle with some kind of past tense, and we give to them doing, for example, a deck toys. You can do different things, and that's the magic thing of breakout rooms, because when we are on the classroom, sometimes some students are doing different things in different moments, and that's the way that we can do the things. And I put you some kind of things that maybe you can do. It's like we can practice like reading comprehension, listening, speaking, and as well writing and translation. Okay. And one of the things that we can do, it's like, imagine I screenshot some examples from different teachers that I had to look, for example, like just 1 hour before to do the presentation, like have a look on some of different ideas that some teachers shares with you. Okay, and I've been using the breakout room since March of last academic year, and they works really well. And it's a kind of like life changer for the students, because they have the feeling that they back to work with the students as if they were at the classroom. Because if it's not, it's a kind of like 20 little screens, and that's it. And at least they still have the feeling that they're doing things together, and they can do projects as well. Okay, and the last thing, because I know that the people has to leave and I don't want to make the thing longer, and at least you have like a small bite of everything, and we can do things longer in a clinic and we can explain the things further. What I will say with this kind of netiquette, okay, because always we are worried about the safeguarding and what we can do or not. For example, always ask to your school, what's the policy for doing? Because some schools, they don't want that we open cameras, and other ones, they don't want cameras, neither microphones. Some ones yes, some ones not. But I will say as well, don't leave the breakout rooms disattended. Be passing in different to the different ones, one to each other, and check that they are doing the things and not. You don't have to settle a breakout room for an hour. It could be 4 minutes, 3 minutes. It doesn't have to be too long. Okay. And after that, one of the things, for example, cover the background for the students. If we are worried about some kind of like issues, says to the students, cover the backgrounds that they can do in Teams, and as well they can put some kind of silly faces and they can cover them. That's why I put the emoji, because it's always safer for them. Okay, always ask to the school the policy, and as well, if we're doing on the way that, for example, we never be just us alone with another student, there's always 1 or 2 students more. It doesn't have to be a problem, because all of us, we have the DBS. Thinking that if we were on the classroom as well, and always ask to the school, if we are not allowed to open the cameras, we don't open the cameras. That's it. They can use a picture and the microphones. If they are allowed to, for example, use the cameras, okay, say to them that it's not allowed to do screenshots, it's not allowed to record it, because thankfully we are just us, the ones that we can record the session. But we say to them that no one is allowed to do screenshots or anything, and we control those things, and we can disable as well. That for this we can explain all of those small things another day. Yeah, I hope that it wasn't super fast or something like that, and more or less it's finished.
That is great, because that's what we asked you to do, was to give us an overview. I mean, obviously there is so much in all of this, isn't there? Every single one, there's a lot to be learning about the mechanics of it, quite apart from the pedagogy. And what you've done is that you've brought in the pedagogy of why we'd want to do it. You've given us actually a really good overview at the beginning about the elements. And I can see this is going to lead into something where we might need a clinic, as I say, just on breakout groups.
Yeah.
Because partly we're at the stage now, I think, where some people just need time to do that. So thank you so much. Let's all give a round of applause, please, to Esther. Lovely, really good. And I'd love to take a picture of everybody. So could you open it? I know that, I mean, my dinner's about to come, I think, but it'd be lovely to have a little picture of people who've, look at us, the diehards, 74 of us still here. Started off with a lot more, and I know there are lots of reasons why people had to go, but thank you. So I'm going to ask you to maintain your smiles and even your clapping, if you like, as I take a picture. Here's picture number 1 coming up. 1, 2, 3. There we are. Lovely, really lovely. Oh, and then I tend to click on the picture itself when I'm going. Keep going, because I'm on page 2. Right, just 1, 1, 2, 3. Oh, Helen Farmer, you're going to join in, Helen? Once more with Helen as well. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. That's lovely. So, gosh, that's been quite a marathon today, hasn't it? For those of us who've been going since 9:30 this morning, that it's been absolutely lovely. So if I can just say my sort of rounding up words about AW. Well, no, Joe, do you want to say something? Because you're back with us.
Yeah, I've just had a real problem today. Yeah, I've just had a real problem today with my drivers. I'm sure it's Windows 10 drivers. Through Windows 10 updates, suddenly things are not working in the way that they should be working. So my sound file and my mouse, I don't know, I've got a wireless mouse. It's a Logitech MK270. If anyone has got any advice on how you stop it lagging, because it's absolutely driving me crazy at the moment. But I've been watching the whole thing. It's just when Helen said, "Can you turn your mic on, Joe?" Literally, like my pointer was not moving, so it's like, yes, I can hear you, Helen. I can't move the mouse. So anyway, any ideas on that? But let me know. But thank you so much to all the.
I would say, by the way, don't use wireless. I've got a wireless one, but I've got the.
Yeah, I might have to go for a wired one. But I've been watching everything. It's been fantastic. Thank you ever so much to all the presenters. It's been really, really interesting seeing how all these different things work. And I think the idea of breakout rooms in a clinic is a great idea. But thank you so much, Esther, for all those ideas on how you can use breakout rooms. And I think that, like the privacy issue running right the way through all the presentations is incredibly important. And thank you to Rachel for for talking about the Discord issue. I think that's really, really important as well. So it's been fabulous. I haven't been my normal self, that's all, but it's been absolutely fabulous. Thank you ever so much, everyone. It's been great.
Right. Well, thank you yet again to Joe and thank you to all the presenters. So final little round of applause. Absolutely lovely. Really enjoyed it. And Esther, I wouldn't mind being host again now so that I can.
I put now, just a second.
Yes. Was that
Make
Fatima?
hot. Yes.
Hello, Fatima. We can't see you at the moment. We can hear you.
Now you are host.
Yes, I am here. I'm here, Helen.
I'm host. Right. Okay.
Hi, Helen.
Make her join escape room first to get with your host.
This is always the bit where I think, oh, did I forget to thank anybody? Should I have said anything? So if you're offended, tell me now, please. I'd like to know now. If there's anybody I should say, but Esmeralda, you were fantastic on answering all the questions. It's like the other day with the clinic. As soon as someone put in a question, you had the answer. So
that's I just try to help, because I know it is very frustrating when you want a question and things going on, and it's very difficult for the presenter. I know that, so I just wanted to. If I can help.
No, that was really, really helpful. So thank you to everybody. And we've got. How have you been getting on, Marifa, with your teams? Hello there. She's looking happy still. Notebook it was.
Working on that, but I'm doing other things. I'm working on the OneNote thing.
Yeah.
It was amazing today. Thank you so much. Really, really good.
Yeah. No, it was very good. So I think we've actually got our diary is quite full at the moment for things, but there are several requests there. One person was saying that they'd quite like to have a Genially clinic almost just to try things out, having had it presented. So I think that's what's happening. We could almost say for those people who particularly want to look at this, half an hour together on something, or it's just when we're going to find the time to do this. But as I say, the room is.
I think Marie has got something planned there, hasn't she? I don't know if she's still there.
I knew that Joe,
but we're still waiting to hear from Scape. But we can do a clinic.
Yeah.
Marie is the queen for Genially. She needs to enlighten us all.
We have the queen of Genially. Joe is the guru, basically the guru of everything of IT.
Well, I've learned a lot tonight. I must say there was lots of things which I wanted, like yourself, Helen. I wanted to know about, but I hadn't actually had to play with BlueKit, and I've seen Jane's amazing carousel learning Loom presentations, but it was lovely to see everything happening tonight. It's great. If you haven't seen Marie's Genially YouTube sensation, it's been watched nearly 1,000 times, hasn't it now, or 900?
Nearly, yes, 950 something.
Yeah, there you are. So nearly 1,000 times. So it's awesome. It's really awesome. So we are going to do part 2 once we've sorted out a date and a few other things. But yeah, Genie Clinic, Mary, if you're happy to do that, that'll be really fabulous, I think.
That would be great, yeah, and maybe
Yeah.
Julia can help as well, because we know different things on Genially.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'll be happy to chip in if you want to.
Sounds good. We should be having coming up this Saturday, so a week today, Karine Longman has agreed to do a session around using iPads in remote teaching. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be announced, I'm sure, very soon. If it hasn't, I think it has been already, actually. I think Helen's already, yeah.
These are the things that I've put up already, so you can film if there's anything I've missed out, Joe. So
yeah, yeah. So Karine is on the 23rd, and then we also have Sonia
I've not
Fedrisi,
put Sonia's on.
who is coming up on the 11th of February, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
Let me just check my.
Yeah, sorry, that's my. I have actually done it. I've done the.
Yes, the 11th of February is Sonia, who did a fantastic session at the SALT conference, which is the equivalent of ALL in Scotland, the Scottish Association of Language Teachers. And if you remember, we had Louise White and co just before just in December, just before everyone broke up. And I deliberately, chose people who I knew who were amazing, who spoke at the SALT conference, and Sonia definitely fits in that category. So yeah. So and then we've got other people who I'm going to be contacting or have been contacting and am in discussion with about other sessions. But I think the idea of maybe having like one presentation, let's say a week maximum, and then also the clinics. I don't know what people feel about what people would like. If people would prefer to have clinics rather than an hour session, because I do appreciate.
We're just picking up on it's teachers who are doing it now, because in a way, hopefully we'll be back in the classroom after half term, which is why we just want to just do it now. So although the idea of having only one a week might sound all right, if teachers actually need to know now how to use a Microsoft thing, then it's saying really to people, it's absolutely up to you. You can use it, and we don't need to be, Joe doesn't need to be there, I don't need to be there. It really can be just somebody saying, I'd like to do this, I can give you the login for the room and you can just do it. So
right.
I think, and then meanwhile for you, Joe, to be sorting out these introducing us the new people and the new things, that's great as well.
Okay,
but
that's fine.
Really,
that's
to
fine.
say, I'm absolutely totally comfortable with people just saying, I want to do it. Could you tell me how we can open up the room? Because I suppose the advantage of this ALL one is that you can go beyond 40 minutes. It does help, and you can have, if you really, but I think for a clinic, probably you won't want 500 people coming to the clinic, but
that's fine. That's why I'm just very aware of how busy everybody is, me included. Yeah,
you don't have to. I don't have to, because everyone's busy. But people are busy doing the stuff that we're doing, and sometimes they just need to know now how to do it.
Sure.
So it's it's just really we'll answer whatever anybody wants. So the clinic, definitely. I think the next one we've got for the Microsoft one, it's OneNote. It is very definitely the idea. It's for people who haven't done this before, and it's for new things. I noticed in the last one that we had, by the way, am I still showing my screen if I stop it? Actually, I'll stop recording. Sorry. Stop recording. Yes.